Hey y'all, welcome to Art of the Budget. My name is Nicole. My pronouns are she and her, and I live in the Pacific Northwest on the traditional unceded territory of the Coast Salish Nations. Today I am sharing my budget reconciliation from September 2020 with you. I am a couple days late. It's just the way that it worked out this month. But anyway, I basically did 5 weeks in September. And I busted the budget. So right away, we can see up here, I'm in the red, 239.18 over budget. So let's talk about what happened. I've got some notes as always. I always record. So yeah, if you're new here or you're new to Every Dollar, I always plan my budget at the beginning of the month in my budget plan. And my reconciliation consists of me, I actually write down on paper because at least last time I tried, there's not a way to export this. But anyway, I write down on paper what I had planned and what actually happened. And then in Every Dollar, I change the planned category to match what actually happened, the received or remaining or whatever category, spent, what I actually received, etc. And that leaves me with like whatever I need to deal with. So let's go down the list. So my income, of course, I knew what it was because I have now started this 1 month ahead. And so I had freed up $3,000, which is about what I make in a month take home to live off of in September. And then I saved my paychecks, which I will live off of in October. So I'm officially 1 month ahead. Woo! At least I got one win this month. Actually, as I go down the line, of course, income was the same. I was a little low in some areas, so sharing my income was a little low. That it does kind of bum me out, but at the same time, like knowing that I would be over, that was one of my only places to wiggle. Yeah, so it's not ideal, but but anyway, that was a little under. Retirement was the same. My electricity and internet were just a little bit under what I had planned, just a couple dollars. I planned 40 for electricity, it was 38.54. I planned $84 for internet because that's just the weird bill I got, and it was 79.89, which is also a weird number, but anyway. In groceries, I could not believe I had planned $150 and I was only $3.52 over, which if you know me, you know that is excellent on all counts. Restaurants, I had planned 50 and I was actually a bit under at 38.01. So yeah, across the board, I had done really not bad. But then the cat situation, I have been having lots of health. My cats have had some health problems. Maybe health problems isn't the right word. They have some chronic conditions and we're figuring out what to do with it. With that has come several months, most of quarantine, frankly, most of this whole COVID time we've been in, figuring out what they need. One cat is on 10 medicines. I'm sure that maybe y'all are sick of hearing about cat stuff, but it's a huge part of my life, so that's the way it goes. Yeah, so I have been trying to figure out what I need to allot every month to cover their costs. I had figured out that if I do $250 a month every month, that it should sort of even out. And in this case, this month I was wrong. So I ended up spending, honestly, $250, like $400 practically on medicine, and then about $100 on cat food and litter. And so almost $500 I spent on cats this month. I do think that what I figured out isn't completely off and that it may still balance out as sort of the next cycle goes through, if that makes sense, of medications. I've been trying to do them at about 3-month cycles, but this is how it ended up. So this is one of the big places that I took a hit. And then also in the fun category, I'd planned for 50 and I spent 76.73, so I was a little over there. Those are the main places, and that put me at 239.18. In the best of times, I have money that I allot to sinking funds that I can sort of play with. I've definitely become a little reliant on that, which maybe lets me plan not quite as well, just in general. And then of course the cat stuff is just hard, and I am trying to plan it, but figuring it out as I go. But yeah, because I spent $3.29 on the pork, like there's no, that's spent money. This is really all spent money. So I'm going to have to take this out of my emergency fund. Now, my main emergency fund is up here. Okay, sorry for the moving around. Is up here, and it's $10,000. I don't want to dip into that if I can avoid it. So what I am going to do is I'm going to go down to my sinking funds and see if there is anything that I can take it out of. The sinking funds are for other things, but I also look at them as being like pre-emergency funds, if that makes sense. I'd love to know down below if you would do the same thing or if you would do something different, what you think. If your thing is plan better, then, you know, whatever. But if you have another idea that might work better, let me know, or just let me know what you would do. But I think I'm going to actually take it out of my down payment category. This goal, as a rule, has pretty much crashed and burned. And it just so happens that this is in a different bank account that is making the least interest. So I'm just going to take it out of there. Also, of course, car upkeep / replacement. Car problem. I don't have one currently, but you know, as we all know, they could happen anytime. So I'm going to take it out of here. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to add a transaction for $239.18. And I'm going to write down that that is, oh, what just happened? What just happened? I guess that didn't, went away. Okay. So $239.18. And I'm going to write that that is for, I'm going to move it into September. And that it is for paying for, heck. Okay, making this September, paying for budget overage. I always try to leave a note that I'm going to understand later. It doesn't always work though. So that's $239.18 as an expense there, and I'm going to add it as a miscellaneous income. $239.18, which is from emergency fund. I'm going to put in parentheses DP fund for overage. I'm going to track that income and add it in here, which gives me an every dollar budget. Okay, that was some fancy footwork. Let me know down below what you would have done, and I will see you in the next video.